What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV today. So we're gonna talk about Square Enix, their Final Fantasy VII celebration they had today, and they announced a few Final Fantasy games. So the first one is the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, which is called Rebirth. This is launching exclusively on PS5 next winter, so they have this is coming. But they also announced Crisis Core, which I believe was a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. This was on on a PSP. One of the main exclusives on the PSP. So if you had a PSP, you most likely had this game along with that system because it's like the most popular game on that system, I believe. So this is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this is coming to all platforms, so including Xbox Series consoles, and the Switch. So it's kind of a major shaft to Xbox users that hey, you have the prequel coming to Xbox, but you don't get the actual Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to Xbox as well, because they announced that the integrate thing is coming to Steam, but no announcement of this coming to Xbox. And it's kind of like, you gave us the prequel, but no, not the game that goes with it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like having peanut butter with no jelly at the end of the day. Like, I don't know why you buy this on Xbox when it's like you don't get the other games with it. So that Final Fantasy VII exclusivity deal from Sony is only supposed to last a year, but it has been extended longer than a year. So I don't know if they've changed contracts up again on what's going on with that. But Xbox users get shafted once again with Final Fantasy VII. So it's kind of, I mean, I don't know why it's shocking, but Sony has money headed their way to making this game an exclusive for even longer than it was supposed to be, because it was a year-long exclusivity. Then it got changed when they released that integrated DLC content. Now, even when this part two, the part two to the remake is coming out on PS5 next year, there's still no news of the first one coming to Xbox. So that kind of sucks for Xbox users. That definitely sucks. But you can play the prequel on Xbox with no way to play the other one on Xbox. So that doesn't make any sense. So somebody else has voiced the same concerns that I did, and it makes a lot of sense. The sentiments pretty much in line with mine. He says Final Fantasy VII Remake still not confirmed for Xbox, yet the Crisis Core remake is. I legit don't understand Square, to be honest. Although, well, there gotta be more to this exclusivity deal. Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, to be honest. Like, why would you put the prequel but not the actual game that goes with it? But yeah, the Crisis Core, I never played that game. It looks okay. Like they just remade the original Crisis Core game on the PSP to the modern consoles. And I'm actually shocked that this game can play on a Switch. So this is gonna run on a Switch too, because that is one of the systems that is listed to play on the Switch. So that's interesting. So yeah, I get more Final Fantasy stuff next year. So, and also they announced that this game is is going to be a trilogy of Final Fantasy. So Rebirth is the second one, and we got one more after that one, and the Final Fantasy VII trilogy will be complete at that point. So let's see what people got to say about this game, Final Fantasy VII Remake not coming to Xbox. I think Sony locked down the whole trilogy. Xbox might get it when it's all released, which necessarily won't be a bad thing, but at that time, but sucks for now. Yeah, people are speculating that Xbox might get the entire trilogy when it's done, when they all released at some point. So that definitely sucks. Like, you got it's gonna finally be on Xbox when a trilogy is actually done and over with. So yeah, Xbox users are getting shafted once again. They're not putting their bangers in Game Pass. That's not even true, because they put other Final Fantasy games in Game Pass. When I think of it, I'm pretty sure 15. A lot of Final Fantasy games is in Game Pass actually, so that's not even true. Maybe exclusivity for the whole trilogy. It makes no effing sense. LOL, here's the prequel to a game not on your platform. Yeah, it makes no sense. It's probably going to be similar like Kingdom Hearts. They won't release on Xbox until the third game comes out. Square Enix is waiting until they release all parts before putting it on Xbox. See you in 8 years. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be like around 8 years until we get all the games finally finished. So Sony are paying big bucks for this series. Next gen only PS5 for Rebirth. At this point, the trilogy will be out, and Microsoft will have to pay big bucks themselves to get this to their fans. And one ultimate solution: chess, not checkers. Either an exclusivity deal or Xbox is still in negotiations, probably for Game Pass, just odd as the Crisis Core is coming this winter to Xbox. Here's a prequel to a game that you can't play on Xbox, really makes zero sense. It is kind of similar to when Atlas, they put, because Atlas kind of did the same thing. They put Persona 5, what was it? Persona 5 Strikers on Nintendo Switch. But they didn't put Persona 5 on Nintendo Switch, so it made no sense. Like, why would you put a game that you need to play, like at least play Persona 5 to get to know about the game whatsoever? And it's kind of the same situation. So I don't know what's up with companies doing that, because this is not the first time this has happened in recent memory. Because they did the same thing for Persona 5 Strikers. It's like you would think you put the previous game that somebody needs to play to actually know the other game. So they did the same thing with that one. So. I'll trade 7 Remake for Crisis Core any day of the week. Sony acquired them. I don't think that happened. I think they just paid them a lot of money to keep it off Xbox. Square, when Sony calls, show me the money. Only thing I can think of that makes sense is giving Xbox fans a chance to play Final Fantasy VII and Crisis Core to understand the story before dropping Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hey, if they don't want my money, then they won't get it. I read them loud and clear. Crisis Core looks more like a remaster than a remake. Unfortunately, they will blame the platform if Crisis Core doesn't sell well despite skipping the mainline game. Yeah, that would be scumbag to say, hey, they're going to use it as an excuse to say, hey, Final Fantasy games don't sell well on Xbox. And I was like, why would you buy it on Xbox if you didn't get the other game that goes with it? Like, that don't make any sense to buy in the first place. But they would use it as an excuse to say, hey, Xbox users don't buy games. It's going to be turned around, and it's going to be turned around to put in that type of fashion, in that way like that. Sony wants to be the platform you associate with Final Fantasy games. They probably secretly hate the deal with Sony saying how much better Xbox is doing versus PlayStation and doing what they can. You get large amounts of fans talk about it and maybe get an official response from Xbox. Sony and Square relationship right now? Okay. What's not to understand? That is money hadn't involved, obviously. Yeah, this is definitely a way, like, it's a way of them making this game exclusive, because it's kind of a way of making Crisis Core exclusive as well, because, like, why would you buy it on Xbox when it's like you don't get the other game that goes with it? So in a way, they're kind of making this game exclusive as well by keeping the remake off Xbox. People keep asking why Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to Xbox. Well, I've said multiple times that Sony tech is being used to make it with Square Enix permission. Blame Sony, they more than likely paid a mega ton of money to keep it off Xbox. That's business, sadly. It's clear they want Microsoft to hand over the bag. Sony paid for the exclusivity. Most likely Xbox players who play Crisis Core Remastered pick it up PC or PS5 to play Final Fantasy Remake and later Rebirth. Sony got Square Enix on a dev row contract. Okay. The whole 3 parts are exclusive until they are released. That's my theory. But they didn't say that at first, though. Like, they made it very clear that, hey, this game's going to be exclusive for a year, a time exclusive, but then it got changed up all of a sudden. So, definitely sucks that this is happening, but it is what it is at this point. If you want to play the Rebirth, the part 2 to the remake, you might have to get a PS5. You can play the prequel Crisis Core, but I don't know how good that would do you if you can't play the actual the Final Fantasy remake on Xbox. So yeah, it sucks, but I guess just how business works with just how business works at the end of the day. So that is what's going on. I definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.